Welcome back to Good Day Orlando Extra. So are you or one of your friends chronically late? There is a growing trend that when it comes to dinner reservations and being late. So Resy surveyed more than 7,500 frequent diners in this country. They found about 2 in 5 adults say they have at least one friend who is always late. More than half of the participants say they gave friends a fake reservation time between 5 and 20 minutes earlier than the actual one so that they would actually be on time.
I get it. Sometimes you have to.
Do you have a friend or a family member?
Yeah, a family member and a friend, yeah. With my mom, we used to give her at least 20 minutes before we wanted to move.
Yes.
Some people just move quicker than others and know exactly when I need to leave. Others do not.
I find that I try to fit too much in. Like whenever I'm like, okay, I know I have to be somewhere at a certain time, but I'm like, but I have to do this and this and this and this and this, and I always think that I can do it faster than I actually can.
I'm too optimistic, and it's like, gosh, already close.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, and I gotta go. Okay.
And I gotta be there right now.
We are on time to see Manny, though.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, well, I think so. I mean, we told him 10:56 and right on the number. Morning, Manny.
On the money.
Right on the number. Ryan is right. Look at you guys. Thank you. You know, everybody has that one family member. Everybody has that one friend that just is not on time. We all know it. But listen, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is using his magic minute to delay a vote on the president's spending bill up in Washington. That minute now closing in on 6 hours. But coming up on Fox 35 News Plus on Fox Local, while you were asleep, one of our local congressmen with an overnight message to fellow Republicans to get in line. You'll see that in just a bit.
Yeah, magic minute now, 6 hours.
I read that he brought in like these huge thick binders when he walked in to the chambers this morning, like 3 big binders of things that he was planning to read. So not sure if he's
He might
done
only
yet.
be on number 2. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe it'll go on. So, all right, Manny, looking forward to seeing it at 11.
Appreciate the updates. Okay, this is interesting. A new survey by Talker Research shows that 37% of Americans know within 10 minutes of waking up if their day is headed for greatness or straight off the rails. So it all comes down to routine. Skip the usual steps like brushing your teeth or grabbing water, and things can spiral pretty fast, according to some. Gen Z's the most dialed in here. Nearly 3/4 say they can feel a bad day coming on. I don't know if it's good to feel that way. We were just talking to the 100-year-olds, you know, that were celebrating their birthdays, and they were saying you should start your day off with a prayer, good thoughts. Don't scroll on your phone, maybe.
And just because you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you can change it.
Amen.
You can change how your day goes.
You can scooch over to the other side.
You can, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're all back tomorrow morning, by the way.
Yeah,
we will
that's
say
right.
5 o'clock. We will be here. Yeah, until
Party
10.
here.
Red,
right
white,
here.
and blue. He'll be in his white suit.
I'll be there with a red tie.
Good Thursday morning to you, and thank you for joining us here for some Fox 35 News Plus on Fox Local and on YouTube. We are tracking a number of stories as we come on the air right now. We'll show you a double box of them on screen. On the left side, that's the door outside the Lake County Jail, where we have had crews stationed for the better part of almost the past month because the suspended Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez spent 3 weeks there as part of an investigation into an alleged gambling ring run out of Kissimmee. His estranged wife was arrested as well, facing charges in this, and she, we have learned, is due for a hearing at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and it is possible that she may walk out of those doors just like her husband did 1 week ago today. And so the bond hearing is at 1 o'clock this afternoon. We do have a crew that is going to be there in Lake County. Her bond set at $400,000. Her husband's was $1 million, but they both have to show to the judge and to the statewide prosecution that the money that they have posted toward their release is clean, every penny. On the right side of the screen that is happening right now on Capitol Hill, that is the floor of the United States House. That is House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries from New York. He's been speaking since before 5 o'clock this morning. And he is speaking about the president's spending bill, which the Senate passed earlier this week. It's now due for a vote here in the House, and this is a stall tactic here to delay the vote. Again, he started speaking before 5 this morning in what is called a magic minute, and that magic minute now lasting almost 6 hours. So we want to welcome you here inside our studio on this Thursday afternoon. We do have an action-packed show coming up here for you because we will get a report on Robin Lopez's hearing at 1 o'clock this afternoon, a preview of it from Amanda McKenzie. And then we will also dip in and listen in live to the House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries speaking about the Trump mega bill. We do know that we also have an update from Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson about some tropical activity that has now moved away, or at least its focus has moved away from Florida, and the blob is now over part of the Atlantic. Today, also a big day, July 3rd. We have Red Hot and Boom. That is a big fireworks show in Altamont Springs. We'll get a preview report from Matt Trezza. Yesterday, if you were with us, you know that we were waiting for hours for Diddy's team of defense attorneys, his legal team, to come and speak with reporters after the jury delivered its verdict yesterday, which was guilty on 2 counts, not guilty on 3. And those not guilty decisions on those 3 counts were the ones that had the most serious prison time attached to them. A judge denied bail yesterday. But yesterday, late after we got off the air, is when we finally heard from his legal defense team. We do want to show you that in full. And then we'll also get, if you caught the end of Good Day Orlando Extra, we talked about one of our local congressmen with an overnight message to Republican holdouts, of which there were 5 in a rule vote last night. And the speaker said that he would hold that rule vote open for as long as was necessary to convert those votes into yeses, and that ended up being a successful mission for Speaker Mike Johnson. But last night it was 5 Republican House members that were no votes on a rule vote before we even get to the vote on the bill. And again, it is only 3 no votes, 3 defections that the Speaker can afford on this bill. So 5 would have put it at a no. So that is what we have coming up here for you. And why don't we dip into the House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries on the House floor. We'll listen in live for a little bit and then get some reaction on the other side.
deportation machine that has been unleashed on the American people. Narciso, this landscaper, raised 3 American sons, all of whom became Marines, 2 of whom are currently, Mr. Speaker, on active duty Marines. His sons, juggling their military assignments, have been trying to deal with the costs and the paperwork required to adjust their father's immigration status through parole in place, a program which allows undocumented members of military families to apply for a green card. But these men in uniform, juggling their military assignments, had not gotten there yet. So after 3 decades, living, working, and raising a family of patriots in the United States, Narciso was violently arrested while he was mowing the grass at an IHOP restaurant. We don't have to speculate as to whether this was true or not. In a video captured of the incident, you see he was sprayed with pepper gas. He was detained on the ground. He was not resisting. And he was hit repeatedly in the head by masked federal agents while he was on the ground. Let me park right there parenthetically for a moment. Seems to me that every other law enforcement professional in the United States of America has to disclose their identity in a way that is identifiable. These masks need to come down. They need to come down. They need to come down. These agents should just be held to the same set of standards as every other law enforcement officer in the United States of America.
So that is House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries speaking on the floor. This is called a magic minute. And so it is a custom in the House that allows the leader of the minority party to speak for as long as they wish about a bill, even if time for debate has expired. So he started just before 5 this morning. And former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, from his time as minority leader, holds the record for the longest magic minute, which was nowhere close to a minute, 8 hours and 36 minutes. And that record was set in November 2021 when he opposed Democrats and the Build Back Better bill. So if Jeffries keeps speaking past about 1:30, he would break McCarthy's record. And you heard him there talking about ICE agents and taking masks off. The topics have ranged in just the time that we have listened in. He was talking also about thanking his mother just a little bit ago. So we want to talk about what is in this bill. And so we have just a little bit of an overview, and that is a 940-page bill, which is called the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. And it is the formal title here, and it has cuts spending on Medicaid, food stamps, and other programs to cover the costs of extending $4.5 trillion in tax cuts. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that it will add $3 trillion to the deficit. Republicans will say that it cuts on waste and fraud. Democrats have argued that it takes millions of people's health care away. And so we do have some figures to show you from a Fox News poll. And this was done, it was conducted in the middle of June, a couple of weeks ago, but the poll was released earlier this week on Monday. And we wanted to take a look at some of what these findings are. This is of voters here. And this is the percentage all the way on the left of people who understand what's in this bill. 60% of voters say yes, they do understand. Opinion of this bill. 59% of voters oppose it, 38% in favor. This is the latest Fox News poll. And then for your family, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act will, 49% of Americans, a plurality, say it will hurt. 26% of voters say it makes no difference. 23% say it will help. So reaction mixed here. And we do know that there was contention even within the Republican Party in the United States Senate to pass this earlier this week. With those 5 holdouts last night that have since converted. It was a late night and early morning for everyone in the House, Republicans and Democrats alike. We did have one of our local congressmen speaking on Fox News. I happened to catch this right around 12:45 this morning. I was still up checking in on what was happening in Washington, D.C. We'll play back some of Randy Fine's comments on Fox News about those holdouts and getting them to vote yes on the rule vote that the Speaker said would be held open as long as was necessary.
I'm hoping that you're about to tell us that you just had conversations with Congressmembers Self, Fitzpatrick, Sparks, Massey, and the like, and you've changed some minds.
Well, I wish I had. Look, we need all Republicans to get on board with President Trump. He got elected overwhelmingly, and not passing this bill is just not a choice, and I don't understand why this is so hard. We need to get rid of the dramatics, and we need to get the job done.
Yeah, I wonder if you think that at some point in time they're going to say, okay, let's maybe take a break. Let's come back in a couple of hours, go get something to eat, do that. Is that kind of where we're heading here? What do you think is going to happen, Congressman?
Well, I think some of them just didn't want to work at 1 o'clock in the morning, which I personally understand. I wish I was in bed right now. But what we have to understand that the American people are counting on us, and people are losing sight of what this bill does. Imagine you're a waitress working right now who's depending on tips to pay your bills, or you're an older person who's dependent on Social Security and you don't want to pay taxes on what you earned for your whole life, or you're one of the people who's going to lose all of the tax breaks they've had all of this time. We need to give certainty to the American people. But the most important thing is we all committed to support President Trump. He is counting on us to deliver on his signature legislative achievement, and we just have to get the job done. And I'll stay here all night. I'll stay here for the next week all night. I'll sleep in that cloakroom if that's what we have to do to get the job done for President Trump.
I'm wondering, Congressman, if 3 hours ago, 3.5 hours ago, you thought the board would look like that. You thought that they would be, the Republicans would be in this position right now.
Well, look, I just got elected 3 months ago, so I'm the new guy here, and I will tell you, as bad as people think Washington is, it is worse, and it's worse because we don't put the betterment of the country and the betterment of the team ahead of ourselves. That's why I'm here. I'm here to make America better for my kids and my constituents, not to worry about petty political fights or what project I can get or what's that. I don't fear the judgment of the voters. I feel the judgment of my children and how they will judge me if we don't solve these problems. And I want my colleagues to think about it this way, but I have no idea how long this is going to take. I just know I'll be here to fight every minute until we get the job done.
I mean, it seems to me like if you had voted no on this thing, you might get a quick phone call or a text message from maybe Governor DeSantis to say, Congressman, what's going on down there in D.C.?
Well, I think if I said I was voting no, I might get a call from the president. And I think that's part of the challenge, is I think people who yell and scream and cause problems, they get attention. I mean, look, I learned when my kids were little that sometimes they want positive attention. If they can't get that, they want negative attention. And I think that's part of the issue here, is people are focused on getting attention for themselves. They're not focused on what's best for the country. And there's no question that sealing the border and deporting all of these people who shouldn't be here is what's best for the country. We just opened Alligator Alcatraz in Florida. Why? Because we want to get these people out, and this bill will help solve that problem. So my colleagues who aren't here, they need to get up, they need to get in the building, they need to vote so we can get this thing done.
Just quickly, Trump, this happened just now. Trump on Truth Social said the following: for Republicans, this should be an easy yes vote. Ridiculous. Just now, the president is still up. If he's watching, Mr. President, call in. We will do some coercion together. Yes. And that's the whole thing. Your comments on this: the president apparently is still up. He's still probably working the phones, trying to get some extra votes at this time. What are your thoughts on that, Congressman?
Well, I'd say this to my colleagues. When I won my special election primary, I got 83% of the vote. I beat 2 other people by 70%. And as much as I'd like to think it had to do with me, it had to do with the fact that my voters love Donald Trump. And everyone who's causing him these problems tonight needs to keep that in mind. Ours is the party of Donald Trump. We have to deliver on his agenda, and I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen.
And the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has posted online that this bill will pass today. And so just one more quick wrap here to put a bow tie on it, reading from one of our articles here, and that is that the legislation would make permanent many of the tax breaks and tax brackets from the president's first term that would otherwise expire by year's end if Congress does not act, resulting in a potential tax increase for Americans. That if Congress didn't act. The bill would temporarily add new breaks, including no taxes on tips, overtime pay, the ability to deduce interest payments for some car loans, along with a $6,000 deduction for older adults who earn no more than $75,000 a year. All right, so that right there, a live look. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. It's about 1:30 to break the record for longest magic minute. It is 17 minutes past 11 o'clock, and we will be back with more Fox 35 News Plus after the break, I should say. And we will be talking about Red Hot and Boom in Altamont Springs and your weekend weather. We are back now with a live look from our Lake Mary Tower that is looking toward Altamont Springs on this Thursday. It is July 3rd, and that is traditionally the date that Altamont Springs does its Red Hot and Boom fireworks show. Tens of thousands of people are expected to attend, usually a good time, though the weather is something that we're going to have to be watching closely, and Fox 35's Matt Trezza has a preview telling us that, hey, this is going to happen rain or shine.
Red Hot and Boom will be happening here at Altamont Springs Cranes Roost Park, and organizers promise the show will go on, rain or shine. More than 14,000 fireworks and pyrotechnics will wow the crowds in a 25-minute show to end the evening. That'll be 9 fireworks a second, every second for nearly half an hour. They also expect huge crowds. In past years, they've hosted up to 250,000 spectators. Altamont Springs city leaders say the only thing that would delay the show would be a thunderstorm, but right after that passes, the pyrotechnics will start.
The only time that we would delay the fireworks is if there's lightning. The lightning is an issue, but once they're loaded, they're gonna go, and if the rain stops at 3 in the morning, we will press go, and it will be the most festive show you've ever seen at 3 in the morning.
Red Hot and Boom starts here at Cranes Roost Park at 5 o'clock this evening. That will be music, food trucks, and more. And then it all wraps up at 10 o'clock tonight. The fireworks show starts at 9:30. At Cranes Roost Park, Matt Trezza, Fox 35 News.
Thursday, July 3rd, 2025. We are now starting the back half of the year. Can you believe that? Here is a look at Daytona Beach, where it is sunny this morning. Let's bring in Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson. Jessica, good morning to you. Now, it is sunny now. Good morning, it is sunny now, but we have some impact weather that could be heading our way today and tomorrow.
Yeah, we're talking some really heavy rainfall, unfortunately. The timing couldn't be worse, but I will say there has been some more promising and cautiously optimistic data that we've been looking at in terms of the rainfall and the timing of it, specifically for tomorrow night. I will say we're talking tropical downpours, so that means it's going to rain a lot over a short span of time. That could lead to rainfall totals as high as 2 to 4 inches by the time the weekend's all said and done with. And this also could lead to an isolated strong storm or two as well. So we mean some gusty winds and maybe an isolated, severe storm or two as well. But really, the heavy rain is going to be the primary threat we see and feel here over the next 24 to 48 hours. So if you're heading out to Red Hot and Boom later today, we're looking at around a 70% chance of rain by the time things begin. This is in Altamont Springs, of course, from 5 to 10 p.m. So at 5 o'clock, we have a pretty decent shot of some heavy rain and likely some lightning in and around the area as well. By 7 o'clock, still likely going to be seeing that 70% chance of rain. Now, it won't rain this entire time. That would be a 100% chance of rain, right? But we're going to be expecting a 70% chance. So there will be some small breaks, but when it rains, it will really pour. So something to consider as you're making your plans and getting the rain gear ready. And then by the time we reach the 9 o'clock hour, we do start to see some signs of not quite as heavy and widespread rain. Once the sun sets, it will help to kind of, allow for some lighter rain to move into the area. But there still will be some pretty heavy downpours. Maybe just the lightning won't be quite as intense and frequent. For the next 12 hours, though, here's how things are going to pan out for us. Temperatures will continue to climb into the upper 80s. It's very warm, very muggy outside. You're going to be able to feel it, that tropical moisture that's in the air that is ripe for, that's really just ripe, moist air as we head over the course of today. It's going to be in place. But we're looking at a 60 to 70% chance of rain. Those rain chances do look to pick up by 2 and 3 o'clock, and we're going to hold on to that 70% chance pretty much all the way through about 7 o'clock tonight, and then we'll see a 60% chance by 8 o'clock, and then we'll see that chance lower as the afternoon and evening wears on. So let's take you through future clouds and radar today and tomorrow. So this is the latest information and the latest data that we've been looking at. This does not mean it's exactly what's going to happen, but when we look at this information, we try to look at the trends. So we've had a couple of isolated showers start developing this morning, right on schedule. These will continue through the early afternoon. So say by about 1 and 2 o'clock, we'll start to see a couple more clusters start forming. Fast forward though towards say 3, 4, 5 o'clock today, that's when we are going to be expecting more in the way of heavier downpours. That's when we're going to start to see them grow a bit more so into clusters that are scattered, some bigger clusters at that. So more of us will be cashing in on that very heavy rain. 6 o'clock, we'll start to see it remain hit and miss. So it will likely be more hit than miss as we head over today and tomorrow. But this is going to be looking ahead towards the 6 o'clock hour, as I know a lot of people are going to be heading out to some of the local events. And it looks likely that we are still going to have a lot of rain. But we do have some breaks, so it is worth mentioning that. Looking ahead towards around 8 p.m., still likely going to see some of these clusters in and around the region. And then as we fast forward close to 10 o'clock, midnight, we still have a couple of these showers. You'll notice they're more so orange than red. So the brighter the color, when we have reds and pinks, that means the heaviest of the rain. So we start to see them scale back a little bit. So that would be good news. And then looking ahead towards, say, roughly midnight, that's when we have a lot more in the way of, it appears, some drier conditions taking shape. Now, as we wake up tomorrow morning, a couple of light showers can't be ruled out, pretty isolated, and we'll likely keep it that way for most of the morning. So through about 11 a.m., we're going to be seeing some hit and miss downpours. So if you want to get the grill out still for the 4th of July, I don't think it's a bad idea to maybe look at the radar, keep a close eye on the forecast, and check things out right around 11 o'clock noon, because yes, we'll have some downpours in and around the area, maybe some lightning and thunder as well, but there's still a decent shot that a lot of us will still be pretty dry at this point. We will start to see some cloud cover increase, of course, by this point as well. But looking ahead towards, say, 2 o'clock, they do grow a bit more widespread. And that only will continue through the 4, 5, 6 o'clock hours there, where we can still see, yes, a good amount of rain. But again, not everyone's going to see the rain all day long. There's the potential of rain pretty much all day long, but it will not rain at every single second of the day. So that is one of the more positive takeaways as well. And I think the 6 o'clock hour for tomorrow, we start to see that trend really take shape. And then this is what we've been, or at least me personally this morning, have been picking up on this morning, because the latest data has really been suggesting that we could wrap things up by anywhere from 8, 9 o'clock or closer to say 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow night for fireworks plans. So that would be really promising and a lot more optimistic than what we have been seeing the last couple of days. So this is, maybe even just some light rain will be in the area. If it's lighter, I think that'll help quite a bit as well for some of those plans. And say by 10 o'clock, we could see more of just that scattered light rain. Now, we are still tracking the tropics, because here's what you need to know. We're up to a 60% chance of development now for that orange blob. You'll notice too, it's really completely moved off of Florida and really off of any sort of landmass in the United States. It's now parked right over the Atlantic. And this is where a tropical depression now appears. There's a higher chance that it's going to form there over the Atlantic. Regardless if we have a tropical depression or not, we've got an area of low pressure that's going to form, and that's going to help to bring us repeated rounds of heavy tropical downpours. So that is, again, why the heavy rain is going to be one of the more impacting factors here across Central Florida in the coming days. I got caught under a downpour yesterday, and it was just pouring rain, a blinding rain, and it really ponded up on the roadways, the parking lots very quickly. So that's one of the reasons why it is an impact day, because if we have that for 4th of July plans, you can imagine how that might go with so many people being outside. So tomorrow is an impact day as well. As we mentioned, 70% chance of rain, 70% chance as well Saturday. But by Sunday, it looks like we might drop off a little bit in terms of the moisture, which will lead to lower rain chances. Right now, we're at a 60% chance, and temperatures here over the next couple of days, they're going to be well below normal due to the fact that we have so much rain and the cloud cover overhead. So that 4th of July weekend, there will be, again, dry time, but it'll be pretty few and far between. And I think the morning hours are likely going to be the safer bet in terms of more of us seeing that dry weather, the drier times where you can be outside for some of those outdoor plans. Our forecast rainfall throughout the next 7 days, again, we're still going to be expecting anywhere from around 2 to 3 inches. Some areas like where we see those orange spots could see maybe closer to 4 inches. So it's just going to be where the heavies of the downpours set up shop. And if there are areas that keep seeing that over and over and over a short span of time, especially, it could lead to some of that flooding potential. So over the next 7 days, here's what we can expect. An impact day for today and tomorrow. And then looking ahead towards early next week, which is almost insulting at this point, because we're looking at around high in the low 90s, but lower chances of rain. It's been trending a lot drier in terms of the forecast looking ahead towards next week. So it is going to be a soggy weekend. There will be some dry spots and some dry time, but it is still, just keep in mind, it's going to be a pretty wet go of things. Listen to the thunder. If you can hear the thunder, you're within striking distance of a lightning bolt. So just stay cautious, weather aware over the next couple of days, and you'll be in good shape. And hopefully you can get in a little bit of celebratory time for the 4th of July tomorrow.
But also have some backup plans, I think, is your message here, the takeaway.
Yes, inside backup plans indoors for sure.
And it certainly feels like the start of our weekend today with the holiday tomorrow. Let's hope that everybody has a good, happy, and safe holiday, including you, Jessica.
Yeah, safe travels for anyone heading out too. So exciting stuff, and fingers crossed for maybe a better looking forecast. But as always, we just want to make sure you're prepared into the weekend.
All right, Jessica Dobson, thank you. And Fox 35 News Plus will return right after this. Welcome back to Fox 35 News Plus on this Thursday afternoon. Manny Martinez here with you. Garrett Weimer has the week off, and tomorrow is a day off for most people here in this newsroom. We will not have Fox 35 News Plus tomorrow. So today is the start of our weekend for the Fox 35 News Plus crew. But we do have a busy news day here for us because we are waiting outside the Lake County Jail. Perhaps it's outside those doors where the wife of suspended Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez, Robin Lopez, may walk out this afternoon. She is scheduled to appear in court at 1 o'clock. We do have a crew that is there and will be there for the hearing in just about an hour and a half. We'll get our preview now from Fox 35's Amanda McKenzie.
Fox 35 spoke with her attorney, who tells us she has met the criteria for her $400,000 bond, but it remains to be seen if the state will approve the source of her funds. Now, that $400,000 bond was set because the state argued that it needed to be high to ensure that she shows up for her court appearances. 50-year-old Robin Severance Lopez is accused of using money from the illegal gambling ring allegedly run by her estranged husband, the suspended Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez. The state says they have witness testimony, bank records, text messages, email correspondence, and more to prove their case against her.
She helped to facilitate the movement of illicit money and receipt of illicit payments from other co-conspirators to Lopez, which is believed to have reached to be at least $600,000 to $700,000.
Robin Lopez claims to have $123,000 in the bank and a net monthly income of $1,300 from a part-time job. But when she was arrested, she was caught with 2 bank slips totaling almost $180,000, which was deposited shortly after her husband's arrest. Despite their marriage separation, the state says she was trying to help her estranged husband pay his $1 million bail. Officials say the Lopezes filed for divorce in 2023, but are still technically married, so she would have had spousal immunity protecting her from having to testify against Marcos Lopez, but she lost that privilege when she was criminally charged. She will still have the right to plead the Fifth and remain silent. Her bond hearing is scheduled for 1 o'clock this afternoon. We will be in the courtroom to let you know what happens if she is granted bond and gets out of jail. She will be outfitted with a GPS monitoring device, and she will be prohibited from having contact with her estranged husband, Marcos Lopez. Reporting in Lake County, Amanda McKenzie, Fox 35 News.
Thank you, Amanda. And here again is a live look outside the Lake County Jail. We've been posted there for the past month or so. We'll be right back with more Fox 35 News Plus, and on the other side of the break, we'll be speaking with Tharin White, our theme park expert, for 4th of July at the theme parks and the best celebrations this weekend. Stay with us. $11:37 on this Thursday. Welcome back into Fox 35 News Plus. This here, a live look from our camera high atop Orange County, the theme park district. Is we know it is a busy time for our theme parks, and so we want to get to our theme park expert. That's Tharin White, the lead publisher at EYNTK.info. Everything you need to know. And so, Tharin, you are joining us live right now from Disney Springs, where there is the Flavors of Florida Festival. That's a lot of F's. And it started last weekend, but there's free cooking classes, and there's also themed summer food. In fact, you have some of that to show us.
I do, yes. It is a beautiful day here at Disney Springs. It's going to be busy throughout this whole weekend, but the Flavors of Florida event has begun. It began last Friday. Like you were saying, every single Friday now, up until August 1st, they're doing free cooking classes. All you got to do is sign up on the Disney Springs website, and you can go and do that. Free food, free classes, get to meet the chefs. But one thing I had to show off today was this. We have got a cheeseburger-themed donut just for this weekend. This is at Everglazed Donuts. And this thing, it's huge, as you can see, and it's all donuts. So we've got donut in the cake and all that stuff. So it's not savory. This is going to be all sweet, but this thing is so much fun.
That's a lot of fun. That's also a lot of calories. How many? Do you know?
Oh, I did not want to ask. No, that's probably not good to know. All I know is it's going to be tasty.
The fun there is only part of what is happening across all of the theme parks. You know, we have a list of events. You have the SeaWorld Ignite and Drone Show. You have Fun Spot America having some fun. Legoland has a Red, White, and Boom. Busch Gardens. So you really can't go wrong there in choosing one of the theme parks here in Florida to celebrate the 4th.
That is absolutely correct. So one thing I will mention, because I am here at Disney Springs, they've got that Flavors of Florida event, but there are no fireworks here. They have actual signage at the front that tells you that no fireworks are going to be here for the 4th of July. That being said, if you want to see some fireworks shows, there is stuff happening all over Florida. Like you mentioned with SeaWorld, they're going to be doing their Ignite show, and they're going to have drones, and they are going to have a 4th of July spectacular along with it. So you'll be able to go and experience that. And they've even got reserved seating. I actually just checked it out right before this. They do still have reserved seating available. And then we're going to head over to Fun Spot, where they're going to be offering their free fireworks show at both their Orlando and their Kissimmee location. Along with that, you've got stuff happening at Busch Gardens. They've got their drone show and their fireworks show at night. Disney is going to have their fireworks here at both Magic Kingdom and Epcot on the 4th. And then if we head over to Universal, they're going to have fireworks at Universal Studios Florida, as well as some experiences happening at City Walk. And something very vague is happening at Epic Universe at 9 p.m. Universal, I reached out to them. They didn't say exactly what, but they said a special 4th of July celebration will happen at that park at 9 p.m.
Vague indeed. They didn't specify, and so that leaves the door open to surprises, some speculation too. What do you think, and what do your spidey senses tell you about what it could be?
Well, I'm assuming it's going to be some kind of fireworks show. There's a guy who's famous on X. His name is BioReconstruct. He takes aerial photos all the time of the Florida parks, and he took pictures of what appeared to be firework preparation for that park. It would make sense, you know, the first year that the parks open, do a gigantic 4th of July spectacular. They do a lagoon show there every single night called the Cosmos Fountain Show, but they don't do regular fireworks. This would be a great way to be able to do that, but honestly, we don't know. At 9 p.m., probably fireworks, we'll have to say.
So I was at Epic for the media preview, and the fireworks and the drone show and the water spectacular that they put on, if they do anything similar to that, quite a whopper is what you'd be in store for. What are you going to be doing?
Today, or tomorrow, I should say, for 4th of July. It is actually my birthday, so I usually just spend it around the house. Yeah, I'm going to go to the pool, grill some stuff up, hang out there, maybe do some fireworks like a local town firework there. But then Saturday, I'm going to be heading over to SeaWorld Orlando for their Ignite and their drone show. I'm very, very excited to see that. They updated their Ignite show this year, so it's the first time they've had drones. The show was already spectacular. When they added the drones in, this thing is, I mean, it's mind-blowing. It's a more than 10, 12-minute production. They've got live performers in front of you. They've got the fountain show. They've got the lasers. They've got the fireworks. And then when they added on these drones, it's almost absurd how much stuff is going on in that show.
All right. Well, Tharin, I would be remiss if I didn't say happy birthday. So July 4th is your birthday. That's tomorrow?
It is, yes. I appreciate you saying that. Yes, I'm very excited.
Well, we are excited for you. And always a good time, you know, on the 4th of July. You're always around people, and, you know, fireworks go off on your birthday every day. How about that? Thank you, Tharin. Thank you for showing us around some of the theme parks here. Again, that's Tharin White, the lead publisher at EYNTK.info. That's everything you need to know. And we will be back with some more Fox 35 News Plus right after this break. Stay with us. When we come back, we will get to our teased segment that we talked about, the defense team for Sean Diddy Combs speaking after the jury's verdict yesterday and the judge deciding not to release him on bail. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Fox 35 News Plus. It is 11:45 on this Thursday. Now, time to get to our promised segment on the Diddy defense team speaking with reporters after yesterday's day in court. It was a big one for Sean Diddy Combs because he was acquitted of the more serious sex trafficking and racketeering charges he faced. He was convicted on 2 counts of prostitution yesterday. Now, his attorneys, they argued for a $1 million bond, but the judge denied that request. There isn't a sentencing date yet, and Diddy faces 10 years in prison for each count, so that could be as much as 20 years in prison. Now, even with all that, he did in the courtroom, these are some of the sketches, fall to his knees and pray once the verdict was read. This is one of the sketches that we've gotten. Another one will show him fist bumping in the air, presumably to family that is there in court. So we will take part of the comments here that his criminal defense team had yesterday, right around 6:30 or so, after we were on the air, and we tried to get this to you yesterday. Here it is today.
I can tell you that I talked to Sean. For those of you who know, I've known him for almost 20 years, and he's thankful, he's relieved, and he thanks the jurors. I think the jurors did what jurors do, which is they saw through an overcharged, overzealous, kind of a crazy prosecution, and they did the right thing. And that's why, when people talk about tyranny and fascism and everything else, as long as you've got a jury system that works, that's what separates us from the rest of the world. And Sean is thankful. As a helicopter parent, I couldn't be prouder, and I'll let them talk. I don't want to steal their thunder.
Were you surprised, though, that he was denied bail?
That doesn't really, the bail, I think, is besides the point. He was acquitted of the trafficking. He was acquitted of the RICO. Those were always, I thought, as an observer, a ridiculous use of taxpayer resources. This case was never what it was made out to be. This case was ridiculous in so many different ways, and I'm just thankful that the jury saw through it.
But he's still facing prison time.
Sean is, the interesting thing about prison is it's a timeout, and he's had a lot of time to reflect, and he's in a good place mentally, and I'm proud of him. And by the way, for those of you who may miss it, the defense didn't put on a single witness. The defense tried their case within the prosecution case, and at the end of the day, it's a colossal failure by the prosecution.
Today's a great victory. It's a great victory for Sean Combs. It's a great victory for the jury system. You saw that the Southern District of New York prosecutors came at him with all that they had. They're not stopping, but one thing stands between all of us and a prison, and that is a jury of 12 citizens. And we had a wonderful jury. They listened to every word, and they got the situation right, or certainly right enough. They acquitted him of the sex trafficking, which he was absolutely innocent of. They acquitted him of the racketeering conspiracy that he was absolutely innocent of, and all of the components to it. The kidnapping, he was innocent of that. The arson, he was innocent of that. The obstructing justice, he was innocent of that. And that is no longer just me saying that. That is the verdict of our jury. So today's a great day. Today is a win. Today is a victory of all victories for Sean Combs and our legal team. And I want to say one thing. There are very few people around whom a legal team could coalesce and become one. And Sean Combs is that person, and we are all blessed to be part of it. And I am now done speaking to you, and I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Garagos.
All right, I first want to thank my client, Sean Combs, for trusting us, myself and everybody here, this incredible dream team that he put together. Without him, we would not have been able to do this. He is incredible, and I want to thank him. I want to thank the jury for putting such great care into this case. They came early every single day, and I want to thank them, as I said in my opening, standing between all of us and the drastic consequences of the criminal convictions of sex trafficking. And RICO is a jury of our peers, and I thank them. I want to thank the judge, and I want to thank, despite the terrible conditions at the MDC, I want to thank the good people who worked there, who ensured that we had sufficient amount of time to prepare for trial. It is extremely difficult to prepare for a federal case in the conditions at the MDC, and they did everything they could to make that happen. I want to thank them. I also have been saying this since the beginning of this case. Sean Combs has not sexually assaulted anybody. I've been saying this for months. We've said it with each lawsuit that came out, and today that was proven true. The media got it wrong about Sean Combs every single day for nearly 2 years. I ask that for every time you guys see a civil lawsuit, criminal complaints or criminal indictments, you actually take a look and analyze these and see whether or not these are actually going to stand up in a court of law, because today they did not. He has not sexually assaulted anybody, certainly hasn't sex trafficked anybody, and the jury found that today. Thank you. I am now going to pass this over to Mr. Steele.
Good evening. Good evening. I want to thank the ladies and gentlemen to my right and my left. There is not a better group of honest and ethical, hardworking, and zealous lawyers, and I especially wish to thank Mark and Tenny for allowing me and everyone else to come together. On behalf of my family, myself, I wish to thank you all for being here and writing truthfully about a man wrongly charged with most of the crimes, and that we all must remember that allegations are nothing. And I'd like to thank Sean for letting me be here. Thank you all. God bless you.
What did your client want to say when he raised his hand?
Thankfully, in our country, we have a right to a jury trial. And thankfully, Mr. Combs took that right. He actually battled for his freedom, for his innocence. He did it. And a lot of times, you know, people are too afraid to do it. And he did it, and we're so happy that he did. We're proud of him. We are completely honored that he put his faith and his trust in us to fight for him. Today is a major win to show what the system can do. We appreciate and we're so thankful to the jury. Thank you to the court. Thank you, New York. It's been a pleasure being here and fighting in your district. Thank you so much. And listen, we appreciate the media. We do. There was a lot of reporting on the accusations. There was a lot of reporting on the indictment. Please report just as vigorously on the acquittal of these counts, please, because that's also the right thing to do. Thank you.
Oh, sure. Good afternoon, good afternoon. So, first of all, I want to thank this wonderful team behind me. I am so happy that they allowed me to join it. I would like to say that I've done a lot of trials, but this is probably the most special one to me. And most importantly, I want everyone to know the job is not done yet. We're not finished, the job is not done yet. And so I want to, again, thank Mark, Tenny, and the rest of these wonderful lawyers behind us. They did a fantastic job. And like those before me have said, our system, the jury system, is important. We need good people to serve on juries. We need good people to come and say a person is not guilty. Take that courage to do that. It's okay. We want you to serve on juries. This particular jury was a special jury. It was fantastic. It listened, it paid attention, it put the nonsense to the side, it put the distraction to the side, and came to a lawfully good, just conclusion.
That was the defense team yesterday for Sean Diddy Combs speaking after the jury's verdict to acquit Mr. Combs of the most serious charges, though he was convicted of 2 charges. 2 live pictures right now on the left that is outside the Lake County Jail, where in 1 hour, Robin Lopez has a hearing scheduled, and she is the wife, the estranged wife of suspended Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez. She's in bond on $400,000 bail. She has to prove that every cent that is posted toward that amount is clean in order to walk out, and she could be walking out as soon as this afternoon if that does indeed happen. On the right side, that is House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. He just crossed the 7-hour mark of his magic minute as he speaks against the president's spending bill, which the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, says will pass ahead of the president's July 4th deadline. That is our report for this morning. We have a lot more coming your way on Florida Live when you join us here on YouTube and on Fox Local. And that starts at 2 o'clock. And then we have more Fox 35 News Plus scheduled for 4. It is another busy day in our newsroom, and we hope you stay with us.